Welcome to the O Studio podcast, where we delve into the art of feeling better. My name is Tim Bateman, and O Studio is a recovery and wellbeing franchise that's here to help you relax, recover, and improve. Today, we're wrapping up 2025 with a look back at the year, personally and professionally. It's been a massive one. New studios, new people, big milestones, and plenty of lessons along the way. We're keeping it simple, sharing a few reflections, some honest moments about our own year, and a quick rundown of what O Studio has been up to. Let's get into it. Welcome back. How are we?
Good. I feel like we are completely breaking the, is it fourth wall, but like we just recorded another episode before, but we didn't do what are we running?
Yeah, what are we running?
Everyone always
10.
what are we running?
I'm a 10.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a 10.
Wow.
I'd go a 9 just because I've got a residual cough from like 7 weeks ago. So once that
Take 1
moves
point
on.
now. That's so good. I'll go an 8 now. I actually came in a 5. And then I sat in the sun and I had a coffee and now I'm an 8.
I reckon you've just bounced off our energy over here. You've
Probably
just,
actually, I've taken a little bit of your 10 and 9. Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this one today. We're doing like a 2025 wrap, I guess. And this whole rap thing is becoming like the Spotify rap. All that sort of stuff. The girls are talking about this all the time.
I forgot about that. That'll be coming. Yeah, sorry, I just completely forgot
Look
about it.
how pumped you are about
good.
the rap. This is the thing. Like girls are always like excited about what the rap for the year is. So like the way we want to do this today is a bit of like a personal rap, I guess, like some of the things that have gone on, but also just a little bit of the stuff that's been going on with O Studio because it's been a pretty unreal year too.
Yeah.
So like where I want to start is that sort of personal reflection sort of side of it too. So I've got sort of 3 things that I want us to sort of reflect on or sort of answer, like a bit of a quick fire type one.
And I'll just say, like with these questions as well, we'll answer them, but then like whoever's listening, I think it's just cool to like have your own reflection as well and just answer in your head these questions for yourself too.
Yes, good shout, very good shout there. So the first one is it's a dual one, I guess. It's like because a lot of the stuff that we've talked about this year, and we did a fantastic episode with Rebecca Thompson, who's running the O Studio Mountain episode. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that, go back and have a listen. But she had a really good sort of take on like looking back and looking forward and like taking the learnings, like all the thinking about the challenges and how you can integrate those into moving forward. So what's something that you want to leave behind in 2025 and something you want more of in 2026?
Am I going to go first?
Go.
You're like looking at me. Cool. The thing that I want to leave behind in 2025 is perfectionism. I think I'm pretty bad at like feeling like I need to get to a point before I can do or like complete anything, or I often start things and then I just don't follow them through, mainly in my personal life, but just because I don't feel perfect at it. But then the one thing I learn constantly is that everyone that's successful just starts. Obviously, it's that classic saying, like, it's better to start now than tomorrow or something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's probably what I will leave here.
Leave in 2-5.
Yeah.
Perfectionism,
Yeah.
It's rife,
Yeah.
in so many different people in so many different places. I mean, I feel it myself too. I don't know about you,
Yeah,
Soph, too
definitely
much.
not. It's one of those ones. I think probably for a time,
Yeah.
maybe when I was younger, but
Yeah.
and it's funny. My leaving behind in 2025 is my 30s, and not because I didn't like my 30s, loved them, but I just feel like it's such a privilege to age.
Yeah.
And I think of all of the things we talk about, we always come back to an awareness. And so that is what I want to carry into 26. It's just like I don't have a lot of pressure on myself. So I think it gives it abundance of like curiosity, and I'm excited about aging and learning. So I think it is just like I've never wished away any of the years, but I'm excited to be in my 40s. I don't know. I just feel like it's like one of those cool things. There's been so many people that are incredible that haven't even had the privilege of getting here. So I think it is like, I just want to go into it with just like an excitement of I'm looking forward to learning whatever the 40s has got for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is such a good way to look at it that way, because it's and that's not common too. Like so people long for the past of like of being in their 20s or whatever it is, but it's like actually how lucky are you?
To be fair, I would like to leave the grey hair.
What's yours?
So mine it's a combination of both, I guess, of a bit of a reflection on last year and what I want to create into this new year. But for me, it's around being a little bit more intentional with what I want, or the way I want to be, or the people I want to be spending my time with and stuff as well. And there's nothing, no big, alarm bells of things that have been going on, but it's more one step behind that, I think, is actually creating more space in my world to be able to be more intentional. Like I try and be intentional with like my health or my relationships or work, but sometimes things just get too busy and I'm not as intentional as I want to be or as thoughtful as I want to be in certain situations. So for me, the actual thing is I want to create more space in my world so that I can be a little bit more intentional with things. And I know that sounds silly, coming from running a wellness company that's all around, creating space for people. I have the same challenges that most have, but I know how much happier I am, how much more present I am, how much more productive I am when I'm actually carving. And it's simple. It doesn't have to be a float every week. For me, it can be literally doing 5 minutes of nothing, just being really present, 5 minutes in the sun with nothing, just think in my own thoughts, taking a little bit of time at the start of the day to think about what the day's, what's ahead of me and what do I want to get out of these meetings, what do I want to get out of this work, what do I actually want to achieve here. So I suppose I want to do less rushing into things and being like, I'll figure it out as I go, just be a little bit slower, a little bit more, have a little bit more space in my world to be more intentional.
The two sayings that stuck with me so much from this year were, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. So like any emotions that you're feeling, you're essentially choosing them unless you're changing the environment or the actions that are feeding into them. And the other one is just being where your feet are.
Yeah.
And it sounds such a simple thing, but it's like that's what you're kind of saying, is just being able to just be where your feet are rather than back in the calendar of things where we need to be preparing or reviewing or whatever it is. Yeah. Just being where the feet are.
It's funny, a lot of people, me included, they avoid being alone, avoid being,
Silent
having
practice.
space, like that silence, having nothing. It's almost like I'm not doing anything. Whereas for me, genuinely, it's like I know how much better I am when I have those moments.
It's the most productive of all things.
It just is. It's like that's productivity for me is nothing. I think it's why floating is the ultimate for me in that space. Yeah. It's like where I find myself really, I seem to do my most growth, I think, is in that environment because for me, it's like the opposite of everything.
Do you know, I said this the other day to somebody, we were talking about sensory deprivation, and I said that sensory deprivation is where things make the most sense.
Ooh,
and when you think about it, it is like that for me has always been the case. It's like if you can remove as much stimulus on your senses as possible, that's when things will make the most sense.
Yeah. But next one we've got here is around like a small habit or ritual that sort of helped you, I guess. Was there anything this year that sort of jumped for you guys?
My one, more so recently, but just to do with work, but like when things have been quite hectic, I've actually gotten into it. It's probably bad for my bank account though, but every morning I've been, instead of going straight into work, I go to a coffee shop that's right next door and I'll work for probably like an hour or two before going into the office, because I know that's my time to just power through whatever I feel like I need to get through before then, like, talking with you guys and getting sidetracked. But, like being able to go, okay, that's my time to actually power through that work. And then I can go in and I feel calm that I've done that stuff that I needed to do. And then I can kind of be a bit more reactive and, jump on phone calls with owners and stuff like that. But I've had that time to really get that stuff through and done. But then I've been buying a coffee every single morning, which is not great.
I love it.
Mine would be just going back to focusing on that connect first. So I think we've spoken about it before, that whole like entering into environments with that respect, then connect, then reflect, then direct. And so I've really tried to focus on my relationships and my connections before I focus on a to-do list of productivity. It genuinely has made me so much more productive. I think it gives so much context to the work that you're doing, and it quickly it helps you establish where your sort of key priorities are for that workday. Like if you can kind of check in with the peripheral group that you're working with, and then see where your the 3 must, 3 might, 3 maybes are. It just has helped so much, just feeling like I'm getting the important stuff out of the way first.
Yeah, that's good.
I love that. 3, what was it? 3 months.
I just can't remember what I just said,
3 maybes.
Yeah. I said it and thought that's good, but I should have captured that.
That's good. You should. That's not. Did you just come up with that right now?
Well, I don't actually. I have in my diary, my Kmart diary, I've got like 3 lists of 3 for each day. That's just what it is pre-printed as, and that's what I've sort of refined them as. So the things I must do, the things that I
Might do.
the things I maybe will do.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
good.
I love it. The thing, if I think about, because what I'm trying to think about here is like what genuinely helped me this year. You know, what was the things that helped me, and the flip of that is what were the things that I found extra challenging. And it's the same for both. And so therefore, it's the thing that I'm most grateful for. I think for the year is just like the people around us. You know what I mean? Like how much better and how much easier are things when you've got the right people around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then for me, like my tendency is to be a little bit of like figure it out myself, you know, don't share any challenges. Like if there's a problem, I'll go and figure it out and solve it and sort of fight away in it. But what I think I've got better at this year is asking for help, is you know, like you eat, like the amount of things that you've done for me this year and for us this year that I would have tried to figure out myself my own way. And so like, yeah, what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is like, I think that's helped me the most is having really good people around me. You know,
And leaning on them.
And leaning on those people.
Yeah.
And so if I think about what we're trying to achieve with O Studio or what I'm trying to achieve personally, I just know I've got to have good people around me.
Absolutely.
Because it just makes life so much better. It
Yeah.
just does. It really,
really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic. Well, should we go into O Studio?
Yeah.
A bit of like actually, no, before that, I did want to ask just around like a podcast, because this will be our last episode of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah.
like, if you know, because we've had some epic conversations this year, and I love it. I love the fact that we just get to sit down and talk about one thing, or really delve into a topic. But like, does anyone have like a highlight of the podcast for the year?
My one isn't probably not a traditional answer to this. My highlight of the podcast genuinely is just that I get to catch up with Tim. And I know I love Maddie as well, but obviously
Rude.
it is like, because I'm not part of the wider group anymore and I'm working in a different industry, it's like my time that I get to dip my toe back into stuff that we really care about. And so like obviously for me, the podcast is an extension of the O Studio values and the studios as a network. It is like a nice way to come back and just dip my toe back into catch up with you on a personal level, but all of the things that we all care about. So it's kind of like all the guests, obviously amazing. I don't want them to think I haven't loved those catch-ups, but for me, it just is a chicken. That's what I've loved.
And just flipping that around is like, how good is it? It's been so good for us. It's like the stuff that you've been exposed to, and that you get to be exposed to day in, day out. When you're in a really high-performing environment, like daily, and you're supporting individuals, you know, really getting into individuals and how they're feeling, how they're operating, what's actually helping, what's not, at such a formative stage, you know, with your role.
Yeah.
Actually, I should probably say what is that you're actually doing, but what are you doing, Sophie?
So
I know you've spoken about it.
Yes, I'm working as a PDM, so the Crusaders Academy and Canterbury NBC. So an age range of professional athletes, men and women. So I think there's about 70 all up for portions of the year, and then portions of the year we're working more focused on those academy ages. But it is really like helping them navigate everything around their professional sport aspirations. So
The role built for you.
it really is, but also just like the context that we get when we're talking about something in here, that you can have that lens, or you've just been exposed to some sort of big presentation, or like some of the people that are coming in and you know, the upskilling that you get to go. I think we're very, very lucky actually to have.
It's been a good mix, definitely. But the podcast, great for a chicken.
Yes, so good.
Okay, well, let's get into O Studio for 2025, because Jesus Christ, it was a crazy year. It really, really was. And I wanted to like just acknowledge some of the big things that have gone on this year. And there's so many. Actually, I'm at risk of like missing things, I guess, if we get into it too much. But some of the real big points I'd say would be like, in this last year, we opened 6 O Studios. And when I say we, it's not just us 3 in this room. There's, you know, so many people that went in to creating these spaces, obviously led by the owners of those facilities. But like 6 studios opening in the year, it's definitely stretched everyone, you know, the owners themselves, their teams, us, our teams, the communities. So, but it's something I think we should be really, really proud of. Like Rimweta opened early this year, if you think about that.
It's crazy that when I was like trying to think about all the studios that opened, like it's crazy that they opened this year.
I know.
Like, I thought that was like over a year ago, like last year. Like, they've just, it's just like the communities that they've built is just so cool.
I know. I mean, I was up there last week actually, and I met with a couple of the team that were there at the beginning, and had some conversations around how's it all sort of going and stuff. And it's just cool to see like the impact that they're having in there and what they're sort of experiencing.
Yeah.
It's so that was super cool. Chief, the space is fantastic. Hey? Every time I go
beautiful.
back in, I'm like, oh my god, you sort of forget how beautiful everything is.
So good.
Queenstown, that opened this year.
I know.
I know.
So cool.
I
Yeah.
know, like Tony, and Michaela, the way they've done things down there and the way they've integrated themselves, like unbelievable. Hamilton, that was this year, smashing it, and just so much good stuff going on in that space. Hawke's Bay,
Yeah.
that was the next this year as well.
First hot cold plunges.
I know those. Yeah, if you are anywhere around Hawke's Bay, you've got to go across and try it. I remember the first time Anna actually mentioned that she wanted to put these big hot and cold plunges into O Studio. Like she'd been to a place in Bali and it was a big part of what they were doing there. And we had sort of understood that there's this communal thing was becoming a little bit more practiced. But I was really nervous because we hadn't done it before. It's like we've never done these big communal plunge pools. So how's this actually going to play out? Whereas she was quite like, no, this is where really where I think it's going to go. And I looked at her numbers the other day and just the amount of people that are going through that area and enjoying it and loving it. Like
Such a cool offering.
it really is. But that's what it takes in this industry.
100% innovation and responsibility. Like if you want to be in business, there are probably two things that are the pillars for success, aren't they?
Yep.
Make sure you are being innovative, so listening, thinking about what people are saying and what they need, what might be that meeting that need, and then taking responsibility for making that work.
Happen.
Yeah, I know. Wellington was next.
I know.
Like
So good.
being at the opening and seeing it raining in Wellington and there being like 100 people lined out the door waiting to get in.
So cool. I love all of the studios you're naming as well. I love watching their socials
They're so fun.
and just like seeing the similarities with communities that we had here and then different branches into other avenues. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
And the passion and the staff and the owners.
Yeah.
It comes through the screen, definitely.
And one thing I guess is with each new studio that opens, the owner gets to sort of see everything that's gone on previously and thinks like, how can I put my own little imprint on this and do it my own way? And it's a big part of what we want. We don't want our studio to be just everything cookie cutter, like this is exactly how it needs to be. But the detail that Kate had gone into around training her team, setting a culture, and the theming that she put in behind everything, it was amazing. Like walking into that studio the first time, like every studio you go into, it's like, okay, that needs to be like that, or this needs to change, or that we need to figure that out. Like, it was like she'd just been so thoughtful with every single area, and team, like mainly the team, obviously. The team was so ready. Like there was literally, I arrived as there was already hundreds of people on site, going through, and I'm thinking like, are they going to know how to do this? But the team were like just doing it without even me having even spoken.
And I think
to
what was
them.
great with that as well is now that we've got lots of locations open, like Kate managed, the owner of Wellington, she managed to go into a few different studios as well and do some shifts there and just like really get a feel for what an open working studio looks like and what you've got to do. And I said that was really beneficial, I think.
I was thinking about exactly that when you started, was watching them on socials, visiting each other's studios, and just the captured learning of things that are still really raw.
Yeah.
Like within the first 3 months what you would keep and what you'd want to have, known more of. And I think that the owner group as we grow has been so great at feeding back into that next wave of owners. So a massive applause to them, because I think even Bex being up in Takapuna, and then I've seen, and I think they've done Wellington as well. Everyone is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Charlie visiting Tony
Just
in
the whole
Queenstown.
network,
It's so
just
cool.
supporting each other is really cool to see.
Yeah, like they are the pioneers.
Yeah.
Like they are, and I know we're not talking about Takapuna and Rolleston here too, that opened prior to this year. But they're the people that are creating what recovery and wellness becomes in their communities.
Yeah. And Rolleston and Takapuna, they turned 1 this year.
I know.
As well, the studios. So that's like a huge milestone in itself.
It is. Yeah, it's epic. And then I guess the last one around openings is the Mount.
Yeah. So as we're recording, it's going to be opening in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
But when this releases, they'll be open.
They'll be open. And just watching how Bex and Russ have gone about this as well, I'm so excited for the Mount.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. It really is. Opening in December in the Mount, that's going to be interesting too. Like people are going to be more time on their hands and looking for experiences and
be traveling. And
it's, that's super cool. I guess the next thing around just reflecting on this is the new studio announcements. You know, like we've had a number of new studios that have come online. So Ashburton was announced it's going to be opening. That'll be opening in 2026. Wanaka,
Yeah,
that'll be
awesome.
opening in 2026.
Yeah.
Jeebus, I was looking at the plans the other day, and it's unreal. So super excited for Steve and Shelley there. Cambridge, you know, like Brooke and Cam, who are the owners of O Studio Hamilton, are opening their second studio with Luke, Dave, and Mitch, which is just so cool. You know, that they're our first multi-site owner, effectively, Brooke and Cam are, and like the bravery, I guess, to like, they've only been trading for 4 months, and they're like, yeah, we're going again.
Yeah.
You know, like we're going again 20 minutes down the road in a new facility. And I talked with Cam yesterday, and he was talking about just the learnings that they've got from their first site that they're integrating into their next site already. He's like, everything's just so much easier doing it the second time.
It's like having a second baby.
Yeah.
You know, you're not doing things for firsts over and over and over and over again. That's a massive advantage.
Yeah. And I think just with like Luke, Mitch, and Dave as well, like, you know, being in other environments and being able to, like, so Luke, for example, he's in the All Blacks at the moment, and seeing stuff that's going on that cutting edge and being able to sort of pull that back into the way they're doing things in Cambridge. The same with Mitch and Dave, like being in completely different industries, the benefit that you have with like fresh eyes when you're looking at something.
It's a really collaborative approach to things, isn't it? Like when you're thinking about looking under the hood of anything, and then what you learn from that, what is it? It's the resource bias. Often we think if we know an industry, that's the industry we must remain in. But if you're looking at resourcing and how things are done elsewhere, huge.
Yeah. And then the last one is Christchurch.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
yeah.
You know, like jeepers.
The new studio.
Yeah, so that'll be opening when this releases, I'd say in a month.
Yeah, just over probably. Yeah, something
Just
like
over
that.
a month,
Yeah.
something like that. And it's just, man, like the work that Lauren's put into this facility is, and once again, same sort of thing, like really understanding what's working, what would we do differently. We've been trading obviously in Christchurch for 6 years on our Well Street site, so being able to really understand what the community want, what needs to be tweaked, and be able to build a brand new facility and with all those learnings in there and just go on to a whole new level.
It's so great for the Christchurch community as well, because they were the beginning, you know. They've been there from day one, and they've had this like studio, this site that we've been learning off, and then going to the other locations and creating like something better than what Christchurch has. So for them now to then soon be having a really amazing purpose-built space with all the learnings that we've got now, so exciting for them.
What are you most excited about the Christchurch one?
The communal space.
Communal area, right?
Yeah. And I'm not even like I prefer the private spaces, but just seeing the renders of the communal spaces, I'm just like, oh,
So beautiful.
it looks, beautiful.
Well, she's got 4 private sauna and ice bathrooms. So we've gone up from 2 to 4 because once again, that is a popular. Like, a lot of people aren't comfortable in their togs around strangers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's fine. You know, so like, how can we create more spaces available for that? That you can be in there with your partner or in with a friend, and you've got your own space and your own time. But I know, I mean, I'm excited about the red light therapy, how that's going to play out too. Like I know Remuera running it, and I haven't spoken a lot with Jenny around how that's going, but I'm hearing more and more about it around the benefits and stuff. But the communal area, it's probably going to be the most similar to the Hawke's Bay communal area, the big hot plunge, big cold plunge, and then a couple of ice baths. So 2 different temperatures of cold that are set up for different types of outcomes that you're looking for. Then 2 different big saunas that all feed into that space. So like a really big communal space is going to be...
with lots of options for that contrast stimulus, or like whatever it is that you're comfortable with. That's
Got
exciting.
options,
Yeah.
And the other one, I guess, as well, it's not necessarily a new one, but Rangiora, like Josh, he's just doing great this year with the portable sauna set up at the Pegasus Golf Course, and then the portable ice baths as well. I don't know, have you been seeing on his socials?
And I also love Josh speaks with such knowledge and authenticity.
His content is great.
And I think as well, because he was always the sort of person that would go out and get as much knowledge as possible.
Yeah.
So you feel real confidence in him.
Yeah.
And then I think just, again, innovation keeps on popping into my brain, but to take that idea of just having things portable, and obviously he's got a semi-permanent space out there, but he's doing retreats, he's doing a whole lot of stuff around the area, again building that community. But also I don't know, I think as women we embrace this kind of knowledge and wisdom not more easily, but I think more readily, and so seeing a young father in that space, really promoting it is like so incredibly important. And it really is, like, I think the people I speak to that go out there, amazing. So he's done such a great job. And also Jess hustling with the kids and behind the scenes, I'm sure everything is a joint effort. So very cool.
Josh for me is like the definition of this quote that Shelley, actually, the Wanaka owner, said the other day, which is, you can't steal second with your foot on first. And it's a baseball analogy. Like, you can't steal second base if you've got your foot planted on first. You've got to sort of, edge your way out there. Like, Josh, his experience in wellness has just exploded because he's put his foot in the door and he's actually just trying to bash down windows.
Yeah.
Like, he resigned from his job and he opened a portable sauna business.
All in.
All in. Like, he had no idea around social media, but like, look at him now.
Yeah.
I find myself just watching his content because it's like engaging, it's funny, it's educational, it's like on point. But once again, it's just like, you look at his first ones, I guarantee you what they were like compared to what they are now. He's just like, I'm going to do it and I'll figure my way out along the way. Just keep learning and growing. And it's from a place of real, I don't know, it's like, it's intentional, it's really clear, it's like passion.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, same.
And because their site's just starting to get built now as well. So I think
that
they'll
will
be
open
opening.
this year too.
Is it 2026?
Yes. Yeah,
Cool.
it'll be 2026 as well. So it's going to be another big year.
Yeah.
So like, there'll be 13 like studios. So there's 13 confirmed, and I know there'll be new studios that come online at some stage. But to get to the end of the 2025 and think, wow, there's going to be 13 studios.
It's so good.
9 studios open at the end of 2025.
Yep.
That's just so cool.
Yeah, it's epic. Epic. I guess like one other highlight for me, I think, just thinking about O Studio, would be our first like franchise owner conference, like getting everyone together. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, like all the owners together. It was the first time we'd done it properly over 2 days, connecting, learning. Like, we had some awesome speakers coming in, and Jacinda and Di, and it was that was cool for me as well. Like, being able to sort of step back and be like, wow, we've got a group of owners, and for a long time, it's like it's our support office that provide value. Whereas what we're sort of seeing now is actually it's more coming back the other way, and more coming back between the owners. And so getting everyone in a room, there's so much value to that, actually, just getting everyone in a room together. Like, we have online catch-ups all the time. We're speaking with people over the phone all the time, but actually everyone's stopping everything, being in a room together and going deep on something, how much value that comes from that.
Yeah, the energy in the room is like contagious for everyone, I feel.
Yeah, it reinvigorates everyone's purpose as well, because there's so much shared value there, but there's also, people being able to see in others, different experiences that have motivated them into that space. It's really inspiring. So I think that's the biggest thing to come from conferences, isn't it? It's that real excitement and that reinvigoration of your passion and your purpose.
And the reminder that all these people in this room are here to support one another. It's it's so easy when you are just, I can imagine for the owners as well, in your own locations and just doing your own thing, to forget that you've got this wider network that you can just reach out to.
Definitely.
So then I feel like, whenever we do have those in-person catch-ups, it was the same when the year before when we did the Christmas do, like just being able to go, okay, I can actually just call this person. Reaching, like just talking in person, then afterwards everyone goes away, and I just feel like everyone just engages with each other a lot more as well, which is really cool.
I've got this just picture in my head of like Lauren speaking with Jenny, and so Lauren's like early in her business career and journey, and Jenny's really experienced, has done so much in that world, very like smart, sharp operator, and Lauren's like the early stages of that, right, really sharp, wanting to work. I just saw them like chatting for ages, just in the corner of the table, and like 6 weeks later, like Lauren's talking to me about some of the stuff that Jenny had spoken to her about, and how she's wanting to put this into her facility, and why and how. And once again, like, you can't underestimate the power of just connecting with people and doing it together. So that's super cool. I guess the next thing for me, I think thinking about the RAT, would be like international expansion. Like, this is something that I guess, I mean, when we first presented O Studio, when I first presented to the team at O Studio Christchurch, this was literally like the first time I had all our teachers together and stuff. I had on our sort of papers, there's going to be 12 locations around New Zealand. And I remember being like, what the hell's going on here? Like, what? We haven't even opened our doors yet. Like, why are we talking about having 12 locations? But like, it's the reason why, and this seems like a really silly reason, but Les Mills had 12 locations. And for me, they were like the pinnacle of like health and fitness in New Zealand. So I was like, I want us to be the pinnacle of recovery and wellbeing in New Zealand. And so if our mission is to genuinely make recovery and wellbeing as practice as physical fitness, then we have to be in different locations. We have to be. you can't really impact all communities by having one location in Christchurch. As that's not to diminish the importance of the location in Christchurch. In fact, it's super important to absolutely nail it in your community. But it was always had to be about being available for people to practice regularly. And so to think that this year is our first step into like outside of New Zealand, you know, like we've a huge amount of work that went into that, and there's a huge amount of work to come. But, you know, there's 4 territories that are confirmed in Australia now. You know, like that's happening.
Amazing. Within 6
That's
years,
wild.
they've got 13 here and 4 in Australia.
Yeah, and once again, I know it's really easy for that to sound like growth for growth's sake, but the mission here is to make this accessible and practiced by people in all communities. And so the vision I have is in my head one day, Shyla and Miley step off a train somewhere in Paris or in wherever, and it's like they come around the corner and there's an O studio.
Yeah.
And it's like they've been a part of these discussions forever.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that we've got this first step into international, like this next year is going to be really important for Be Well and the team over there to make sure they nail it for all those communities. And we've obviously got lots of work to continue doing here and nailing it for our communities here in New Zealand. But it definitely is it's a moment I think we have to reflect on and be like, wow, we're shooting towards our mission, which is really cool.
I mean, I hadn't heard that story about you talking about when you first opened the Christchurch studio, and it's just really cool because it's like, well, you've hit that goal now, like that you're passing it. Like that's just it is really exciting, and to have more people around New Zealand experiencing what people in Christchurch have experienced for so long, and then now going into another market overseas where I just don't think there's anything like us anywhere else. And that I don't want to sound like, I don't know, like cocky or whatever, but like I genuinely just think that having the studios in the different communities will make an impact. And I know that the Be Well team and stuff believe that too, and that's why they're doing this with us. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty epic year next year.
They're huge, yeah.
I mean, even just like the Be Well sort of stuff as well. Like we went and we've met with the team, we presented at their conference, and like Maddie and I both did keynotes at that at their conference on the Sunshine Coast. And I mean, Maddie's a pro. Like he is a pro. He is like literally like I knew his story and I watched it and I had like tears in my eyes. I looked around and seriously it was like,
people were crying,
like, everywhere, because it's like he's it's.
We've got it in a podcast format. I can link it in the show notes.
Yeah, cool.
Because it's a great. Yeah.
And so like watching Maddie do it, and then so it was me, and I'm not. The next day, like my Whoop said that, like I looked at my thing and I was like, what was I doing between like 4 and 4:40 in the afternoon? My heart rate was like 175 beats a minute for like literally for like 40 minutes, and I thought that I was running, but it was me presenting on stage. So
Public speaking, what is it? The number one biggest fear that humans have.
But you couldn't even tell. Like that was my first time seeing both you and Matty present on the stage as well. And it just reinforces why we're doing what we're doing. But they were both really incredible talks. And you look around, and every and people came up afterwards like, oh my god, it's so amazing. Like loved hearing it, which was really cool to see. But you wouldn't be able to tell, like, because Matty said that he gets like. Naturally, people just naturally get nervous. Even though he's a pro, he said he still gets a bit nervous before going on. You could just never tell. Like watching both of you, I was like, oh.
Can you tell?
No, I think I could at the start, and then at the start I was like, oh, he's nervous, and then you
was
just
that when
got
the tear was going down?
then you got into the flow of it, and you were like, oh, this is good. But and all the practicing, like you're off in your room, like practicing so much that afternoon, and I was like, oh, whoa, he's actually like. He's like really
it's because I planned it in like 3 hours before the bloody thing.
But it was so good to have that story from both of them.
What was your like standout moment actually? Just thinking about our studio for the last
year. I think it is just taking a moment to step back and like that. It blows my mind that we have 9 studios open. Like when I started, we had Christchurch. And so I think it is just seeing those spaces come to life. And I've been in person to some of them I haven't yet, and I can't wait to. But I think it's just seeing being a part of the owner's journey to opening, and then being able to just like, I don't know, you work so closely. Like I work very closely with them in that kind of lead up. And then after they open and we work closely with them, but then it also just seeing them do their thing, and they've learnt all this stuff, and then they just work all these things out for themselves, and they're just fully thriving in their own location, their own studio, and just going, whoa, like it's really cool to
Yeah.
see that kind of progress, and then just see them build their own communities and make those connections and make those own learnings within their communities, and then just feeding it back to each other. Like, I think, just looking back and being like, we've got nine studios open, 9 owners, just like completely owning their own community and helping them and building those connections, I think is super special.
I love it. One other highlight, I think, and this is going to come into more fruition, I guess, this upcoming year, but like expanding our team, got Shanae coming in. I can't wait to introduce her to all the owners and sort of the value I think she's going to add to our group.
The experience that she brings.
It's huge.
Amazing.
Like, she's been in Australia, working with 13 locations in the fitness industry. Lucky enough, she's from here and she wanted to move back here, and there's an opportunity here with us, but her whole thing around building communities and actually retention and customer support, all that sort of side of it, she's going to be a massive value add for us as our support office. Because it's like, we work our asses off in our support office, but I always feel like there's more we can do. And so to have someone in there who can really help the owners drive their communities is going to be
and with
really,
the skill set and experience, I reckon that is the biggest thing. Like, she sounds like she's got massive interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence. Yeah. So she will manage the difference in personnel so well.
I know.
It was so funny, like chatting to her and kind of the process to hiring, and we were just all sitting there, just saying all of this stuff that, all these learnings, or like we'd ask her a question about something and she'd just go off and talk about all of this stuff, and we were just sitting there like what? Taking notes. Like, I need to remember this stuff. Like, this is insane. So it's gonna be so
huge.
great to have her on board.
Well, I can just see her sitting next to Tony, and like figuring out like what does this look like here? Sitting next to Anna, or sitting next to Jenny, or sitting next to Dee, or whoever it is, and like really going deep on their communities as well, and a really important part of their business. So 100%. I can't wait. We'll have to have her on the podcast.
Yeah,
actually.
we surely will. Yeah,
we'll get her on. So what about looking ahead, 2026? What is one thing you're excited about personally into 2026? What is, like, if you think about it, like coming in, what sits high on your list?
Well, my partner and I just bought our first home, which is great. So good. Finally, after, I'm sure anyone that's gone through that journey, it's a bit of it's a long one, but I'm excited to then be able to just host things. Like, I'm a big hoster. Like, I love having people around and providing the food, and so I'm just excited for next year to just have that space now to just be able to invite people around whenever we want and just hang out and just do some fun stuff, fun activities. And
so good, the hostess with the mostess. It is like one of those things that's like such a grown-up moment, eh? And so
I've learned I'm like definitely a type A. Like, over our housewarming, people were helping, like, oh, like, I can do this and I can do this, and I'm just like, okay,
I've got it.
I can do it.
The way you can help us stay away.
That's
so good. I love that. For me personally, it's funny because it's not really me. I'm excited to watch Will next year.
Yeah,
like, he's first year out of a 17-year professional rugby career, so like a really big transition. And I've loved watching him this year, like, find what he's passionate about, but I'm excited to see next year him actually being a bit more calculated and in control of what he wants to do. It's important, obviously, to like, try lots of things, but I feel really proud of how he's moved into that next space, and I'm excited to see him next year just doing just as one thing really well.
From all the learnings this year.
That's it. I think he's done a great job at trying lots of stuff, but I'm excited for him for next year. And also, I think the kids, I get really excited each year when I look back 12 months, even at photos, or thinking about, the things they're doing, or their friendship groups, whatever. I love watching that progression. Like, it's such a big part of my life, but I think I get genuinely excited thinking, like, we're going to be looking at these photos over this summer, next year, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was like, how quickly it goes is massive. But I am really excited for mainly for Will, but for all of us.
So we were thinking along the same lines. The things I had was, I'm really sort of excited for mine and Laura's relationship. We've sort of got to the stage now where the girls are like, we can wake up on a Sunday morning, we should just go for a walk, we'll go do this. We don't even have to think about where they are, what they're doing. I know that sounds really silly. Obviously, we're still parents, but like, Shila's often away somewhere, at 19 years old. She's been in a relationship for 4 years, like, she's often doing her own thing. Miley is like coming into that stage now too. Like, last year of high school, it's like there's this new sort of freedom that Laura and I are looking at each other every now and then, like, oh my gosh, like, you want? We'll just go away for a night together. You know,
Yeah.
they'll be fine at the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's another level of freedom, I guess, that's come in our relationship. So I'm really excited to sort of we're just stepping into that now. So what that sort of means, I don't know. But the second thing is actually the same as the girls, like Milia in particular. And here I'm talking about Milia on the podcast, but it's like I think this has been like she's had a massive shift over the last 6 months. You know, that stage that you're in at high school through the window, that's just such a hard stage. You know,
Yeah.
everyone goes through it
Definitely.
at different levels, I know, but like I feel like she's just become really comfortable in herself, and I don't know, I've just seen her sort of come out the other end, so I'm super excited for the girls as well, and the way this sort of year ahead goes. So I was thinking on the exact same lines.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm sure there's
Yeah.
lots of stuff, but the first things that came to mind were actually my relationship and the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last thing I want us to get to is like, so one of the parts of, once again, going back to Bex's podcast, because it's still always on my mind, but it's around like prediction or intention for O Studio. And if we were to put out like an intention for O Studio, if you could fast forward 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, whatever it is, but like what is it that people are going to be experiencing? What is it that people are going to be feeling? What is the intention for O Studio?
I mean, my thing, I always come back to education. I feel like people hate me saying this, but I think my intention, I guess we keep saying that education's a big part of ours, but I think I want to go into next year with a bit more intention around actually how we implement that within the teams and then within our marketing and stuff. Like it's quite, I mean, I get overwhelmed with the amount of information that we have that we need to work out how to communicate. And so I think intentionally implementing that throughout the studios and our messaging next year will benefit everyone to understand, what our services do to help people.
I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think? What
I
I
just keep on thinking back to the mission. Like I think, what is that saying? I'm going to blow it because I completely agree with you. I remember my first year back in New Zealand with O Studio and me ranting, you were still in Japan, me ranting about the need for education because it is like one of those things without it. But what do they say? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, I think is the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I think society as a student is becoming ready.
Yes.
I think there's just more social movement that allows for a broader scope of thinking, and we often fall back on that whole like science is catching up always. Like that has to be like that. For anything to be steeped with credible scientific evidence takes time.
Yeah.
So it is always catching up, and that's not a controversial thing to say. That actually is how science has to work. There has to be a hypothesis, and then it's proven.
Yeah.
So it's like I think we are really backed by science and everything that we kind of do already in No Studio, but I think winning over society and getting that student ready to receive a teacher is that's obviously we're not putting ourselves in that high esteem, but I think as a brand, we're prepared and ready in the market to be ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I've gone so wordy there, but I think for me it's just that there's big shifts happening, but we've kind of been ahead of the wave of people jumping on this without substantial experience.
Yeah.
So I just think it is like it's perfect timing.
Yeah. And where can we go with that? Like there was 119,000 visits into No Studio last year.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're just scraping the surface of like what we can really do in community. So I agree. Like the thing for me when I think about like just the intention or what I want, it's like what do I want people to think of when they think of O Studio? Like what springs to mind when they think of O Studio, when they interact with O Studio? Like what are the values that they see without knowing the values? What are we actually speaking through our marketing? What are we speaking through our experience in studios, in store? And so if I can, like our values, I think are really strong, and if we can keep living our values, I think that's fantastic. But if you think about like a brand, if you think about Apple, there's things that will spring to mind. If you think about coffee culture, there'll be things that will spring to mind. When people think about O Studio, it's like what do we want to spring to mind there? And there's a few things that come to mind, but the first one is like a depth of brand. Like it's not just a step, like a surface level, like high, like just a recovery centre or just a wellness thing. It's like there's depth to what we do. There's real depth and meaning in the way we do things. The second thing is like premium. Like I want us to be like people, when people think Oshi, I think they think quality, they think premium, they think, you know, like it's not cheap and simple and naff, you know, it's premium, the experience. And then lastly, it's accessible. You know, achievable and accessible. I want to make sure that O Studio has real depth to it. We're real premium in our experiences, but it's really accessible, because that's a super important part of what we do too, if we're really wanting to achieve our mission. So my intention for the brand looking forward is that when people hear O Studio or they think about O Studio, that comes front of mind quite quickly. Yeah.
Love it.
Epic. All right, guys, let's finish up. I think, enjoy the break.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure it's been a big year for everyone that's listening in. So make sure you switch off, get your balance right, you enjoy the time together with your family and stuff as well. Any last sort of comments or words?
Just off the back of that is just set some intentions for the new year, and I'm sure we'll probably do an episode about that for the new year as well. But just taking time to, what do you want to see happen in 2026?
Yeah, have a go back to the start, answer some of those questions that he put together, because I think that is an awesome place to begin.
How good is 2026 going to be?
So good.
I like the number.
Yeah.
I just like that, yeah.
Better than 2025?
Yeah, I do. I like it better than 2025.
Okay, good. Enjoy, guys. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of the O Studio podcast. If you enjoyed it, please hit the follow button wherever you're listening and connect with us on social media at O Studio Global. Our purpose at O Studio is to make recovery and wellbeing as accepted, understood and practiced as physical fitness. To achieve this, we're building premium recovery and wellness hubs around New Zealand and Australia where communities come together to sauna, ice bath, float, recover and so much more, all in beautiful spaces designed for everyday people. Check out ostudio.co.nz to find a studio near you or explore how you could bring O Studio to your own community. Own the moment.